All right, we are live for our 3 o'clock live stream. Gonna give just a moment to see if anybody tunes in, but we have a very special treat for you guys today. My name is Kyle. I'm a park interpretive specialist for California State Parks, and today we are out at Fort Humboldt State Historic Park. This is in Eureka, California. What we're going to do today is we have an interview with our district superintendent and two of our Yurok interpreters, because we just had a very special partnership come through where we will now be co-managing a visitor center between the Yurok Tribe and California State Parks. Before we get into that conversation, though, I do want to do a couple of acknowledgments, and we'll do some introductions as well. We are on ancestral Wiyot land today. I did also want to acknowledge that so many of you guys are doing your part to shelter in place and stay home during this COVID-19. We really appreciate you doing that. We're bringing you these 3 o'clock live streams every day because it is our mission as California State Parks to provide for the health, the inspiration, and the education of the public. So we are hoping to give you a little bit of help, giving you a little bit of these outdoor spaces, hoping to inspire you to come and check out some new places, and we're going to provide a little bit of education where we can. We are also following our social distancing guidelines. You'll see all three of our interviewees today are standing very far apart. We're cleaning our equipment and making sure we're following those guidelines ourselves as well. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'll let each of our interviewees introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Maiya, and I am Yurok, Taos Pueblo, and Apache, and the villages I come from are Tequan, Wakel, and Big Lagoon.
And you are a
Tribal member, state park employee.
interpreter for California State Parks. Victor Bjelajac, I'm district superintendent for North Coast Redwoods.
I'm Princess Colgrove. I'm Yurok from the villages of Chapek and Espel, and I'm Hoopa from the villages of Medelden and Sewanalden, and I'm also an interpreter for California State Parks.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. So we have a number of questions prepared, and we will be asking them. But if you guys watching have any questions, as always, feel free to comment, and we will be asking them your questions as well. So we're going to go ahead and let Victor give a little bit of background on this project and what this partnership involves.
So I think we're talking about Joint Powers Authority that we entered into, California State Parks entered into with the Yurok Tribe just last week, something like that. And it's for the operation of Stone Lagoon. Stone Lagoon is we have a visitor center there. It's one of 3 lagoons in a series, part of Humboldt lagoons. Facility there, it's been underutilized, and we were looking for a partner to come in and provide services for those folks traveling up and down the highway, but also great opportunity. We have partnership with Yurok Tribe, enter into government relations. We try and work together as much as we can, and this is a good opportunity for Yurok Tribe to actually take over the operation of the visitor center, develop programming that's coming out of there. You may have interpretive programs, you may have demonstrations related to material culture of Europe. It's brought by, and I'll let one of the girls talk about this more, it's by a very special place. There's a jump dance ceremony that occurs every 2 years. But it's an opportunity for DPR, Department of Parks and Recreation, and the Yurok Tribe to partner in offering the natural beauty and the cultural beauty of this area to visitors that are coming through.
Excellent. And really quick, the area that we're talking about, Stone Lagoon, we have a photograph right here just to show you some of the kind of natural beauty of this area. Absolutely incredible. And Maiya, can you tell us a little bit more about the relevance of this site? Why is this so important?
This site is close to another kind of like a spiritual place for us. We have a jump dance that's a world renewal ceremony for Yurok and Hoopa people. There's many different types of there's a few different types or variations kind of way of world renewal, because there's one past Tequan, and there's one here on the coast at Chapek, and there's differences between that, and I think Princess can speak on the coastal side, but for me it's I'm more inland for jump dance.
Princess, would you like to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, so the jump dance ceremony that we have on the coast at Stone Lagoon is called the Bjelajac, and that's our world renewal ceremony, so it's our healing ceremony. And we have this to heal the world. And like Maiya said, we do have it also in Humboldt, where my dad is from. So we have it every year. So it goes back and forth. So for Yurok people, it's every 2 years, and for Humboldt people, it's the years that the Yurok people don't have it. So we have one every year, but for Yurok people, it's every 2 years, and for the Humboldt people, it's also every other 2 years. My grandfather, Walt Lara, he's from Stone Lagoon. We call it Chapek. That's the place that he grew up. That's where he's from. So that's why it's so important to us.
Let me throw something in there. So year before last, jump dance ceremony. I was first time that I experienced it up here. And I was talking to folks, right, what is jump dance ceremony? It's world renewal. And her grandfather, Walt Lara, emphasized to me that it's for world renewal for all peoples. It isn't just for young people. It isn't just for Humboldt. I shared that with my wife. We were talking about, what's going on, what's a jump dance. I explained that to her, and there was no pause, there was no contemplation of it. It's going, great, we need that.
It's beautiful. World renewal for everyone, not just for the people involved in the ceremony. Excellent. Really quick, do you want to show this image? We have a picture of a few of the Yurok tribal members and some of our state park staff here at the actual key passing ceremony at the Stone Lagoon Visitor Center. Victor, can you tell us a little bit more about what this partnership is going to look like with day-to-day operations? What's going to be handled by the Yurok tribe? What's going to be handled by state parks?
So the photo you just saw is Stone Lagoon Visitor Center. Right across, the first photo you saw was Stone Lagoon. Right across there on that point, that prominence, is Chapek. So the location of the visitor center in relation to a significant site that has contemporary cultural practices and contemporary ceremony is huge. Operations are going to look like Yurok Tribe is going to staff it. They are going to have staff that are going to be assigned there. DPR will have folks that may float through here and there. We're going to be, as much as we can, develop interpretive programs and provide interpreters. Probably, I know of at least 3 people that are going to be involved. When you talk about significant Indigenous events, Indigenous practices, for me to talk about what that looks like might not be appropriate. I might not be that first person participant, but one of the things that I think is important, what's going to be great about this, is you can have Yurok people on ancestral lands talking about Yurok culture. I know that lots of folks have a real interest, and it's think about what's going on in the world right now. It's a great opportunity for people to share ideas, share worldviews, and come together. The operation of it, it's completely in the control of the Yurok Tribe. They're going to have material culture demonstrations. There may be some goods that they'll have available. There'll be information about what nifty things there are in the area. What else? Interpretive programs. I think that they're going to integrate a canoe program. So Yurok Tribe currently actually shaping Redwood canoes, and are going to be offering opportunities for folks to go out in those. I think it'd be pretty awesome to be on Stone Lagoon in a traditional craft with an Indigenous person talking about the significance of the place. Selfishly, it's a great opportunity for the tribe and just people in general to get something that they may not get traditionally in a state park. And it's really talking about, a lot of times we'll talk about what we have for natural resources in an area. There's also cultural resources, and there are these human resources called people that are here and have stories to share and significant things to share, and it's an opportunity for that. We're in a government relationship with the Yurok Tribe. This is the highest authority we can enter into, a government-to-government agreement, a joint powers authority, and that's how we're operating Stone Lagoon. and it's great. It gives the tribe a lot of autonomy for what happens there.
Excellent. Thank you for that answer. I'm just now seeing our comments, and it looks like we've got quite a few that we're having a little bit of difficulty hearing. So I think what I'm going to have you guys do is, when you guys are speaking, can I have you step up and get a little closer to the camera, just so it's a little easier for you to project and you don't have to yell quite so far. So Victor, you were talking about kind of what this means to you, and that was really interesting personally, just to hear what you're excited about. But Maiya, being a member of both the tribe and California State Parks, can you tell us a little bit about what this means to you and maybe what you're excited about with this partnership? You can come on up right to that stick right there. One more step forward will be good. Beautiful.
What it means to me is that there's going to be people there. What it means to me is that there's going to be people there, always there to help, and that this partnership is a healing partnership, and that they're there to support what we have to say at the lagoon and what we have to say culturally about that space, and that there will be more respect towards what's going on, because the people there are the people that are there in ceremony and supporting each other.
Beautiful. Do you have anything to add to that, Princess? You don't have to, but yes, step up, please, if you do.
Very formal.
Beautiful.
I'm excited about this because it is finally an opportunity for the state park and the people to work together. It hasn't always been like this, so for it to finally happen in a good way is exciting.
Absolutely. Thank you. And again, if you guys, public who is watching, if you guys have any questions for our three here, please do type them into the comments. We'd be really happy to answer your questions live for you. I did want one more piece from Victor. Can you tell us kind of internally why this is the first time that this kind of partnership is happening, and maybe why this was hard to make happen? It does seem like a special thing. Can you give us a kind of inside peek as to how this happened? And you can come on forward too.
Yeah, when we're also talking about, girls just talked about why it's special and what's going on there. It's also selfish for me in that I get to go someplace and have a ready place to meet friends and have conversations. California State Parks occupies these special places, occupy a lot of land that were occupied by folks in the past and in the present. Yurok Tribe is the largest tribe in California, I think 6,500-ish tribal members. To not have native peoples in our parks and within the ranks of California State Parks seems a bit remiss. We're always looking for opportunities to have the population and the employee mix look like our communities. I've been blessed to show up at a time where folks are reaching out, where DPR can be flexible and offer opportunities to people. This has been, it may seem like it's a simple thing. It's been many years in the making. We've been talking about this. We've been thinking about how we could do it. We were looking for mechanisms that are acceptable. We're a bureaucracy, and we have to have rules, regulations, and protocols when we're dealing with things. And we were able to come up with using a joint powers authority, which is a government-to-government relation. It honors Yurok Tribe as an independent government. It offers them a bit of autonomy in the operating agreement of what they can do and what they can offer. And we're really there in a support role. What are the logistics of that? One of the other things that makes it kind of a special place is that it is across the way from Chapek. So when ceremony is going on, you have a structure there that supports ceremony. There's a portion of jump dance when they're crossing over the lagoon, and you terminate right where Stone Lagoon is, and then dance continues on up the hill. But it's a special place. It has a special meaning for a lot of people, Yurok as well as others, and it's a place to have dialogue. We look at the girls that are here, and we always look at them as cultural experts, and yes, they are, but they're girls, and they're fun, and they're nice, and it's great to have those kind of interactions. Young, enthusiastic, Both of them are involved in ceremony. They've been involved in ceremony all their lives. Aunts, uncles, parents involved in ceremony, grandparents involved in ceremony. It's a significant spot. It's a great opportunity for lots of folks to understand what Yurok folks are about and why they think these places are special. And it doesn't have to be me jabbering about it. It's going to be people who have always been here talking about how they live.
It's excellent. Thank you so much for your answer, Victor. We do have a couple of questions now coming in from the public. And Victor, I'm going to throw one right at you because I think this is best suited for you, and you were already right up here. Somebody was wondering if visitors are going to need an appointment or a reservation to be able to kind of go on these canoe rides and access some of these great services.
I think that, and that's once again, that's going to be up to the Yurok Tribe and how they want to do that, or whether they want to support that function there. I believe they do. There may be even contemporary, kayaks that would be available for folks. But I believe I think there's going to be pretty good demand for it. They can work with the tribe. I already believe they have some information out there on how they can contact them. They're going to be running canoe trips on the Klamath as well. And I don't know where else, but I know the Klamath, and there's an opportunity at Stone Lagoon. But yeah, I think that you're going to have to go through, just like with us, a lot of places there's reservations. To come into the visitor center, you show up at the visitor center and you say hello and you talk to people. If you want to do one of the special events or activities that are scheduled, I think that's something you're going to have to schedule. We will have interpretation that we're going to be doing there. It may be on natural resources, it may be on cultural resources. I have sneaking suspicion that there are 2 people here who will be heavily involved in that.
Beautiful. Well answered. Thank you very much, Victor. I have a question from Sandra. It says, is this event going to be videoed for us to see? I will say it's likely that the grand opening of the Stone Lagoon Visitor Center, that we will be putting together some sort of video or a media release for that. As far as some of the events or programs and things like that, it would be something that you would more need to be there in person for. I do have a question from Amanda Spear that says, when is the World Renewal Ceremony and is it open to the public? And Princess, I think you talked a little bit about kind of when it occurs, but if you could step up and just kind of do a quick recap of that, and maybe, is it open to public?
So our World Renewal Ceremony is not open to the public. It is something that the people from those places and from these villages do, and it's really one of our higher ceremonies, so it's not open to the public. So we aren't allowed to give out that kind of information.
We have another question from Amanda that says, is there a website for the tribe?
Yes, I think it's yuroktribe.org. YUROK, and either it might just be yurok.org or it is yuroktribe.org.
Excellent. And I'll make sure to pop I'll put a link as a response to your comment as well, Amanda, to make sure that you have access to that website. Okay, it looks like we don't have any more questions coming in from public. If you guys do have anything else, you feel free to comment, but can I just maybe get one more kind of closing statement, what this means to you, why it's important, just one more kind of wrap-up remark from each of you? Excellent. And whoever would like to go first is just fine.
I picked Princess.
All right, Princess, you have been selected by the district superintendent. There is no refusing. Step on up.
Am I in the camera?
Yes, you're great.
I'm just really excited that we were able to make this happen and that this is happening, and I hope that the Yurok Tribe and the Yurok people and the state parks continue to have a good relationship and continue to work together on these kinds of things, because we all need each other's support in this. It's not something that can just happen. We need to all work together for this kind of thing to happen.
Beautiful. Maiya, maybe next. Excellent.
Not being honest, I don't know what to say.
It's okay.
It is exciting to know that there's a partnership and that we kind of get to float around and be a part of it, and it's exciting news, and I think that it's great that everybody can be there in one place and do what they have to do.
Beautiful. Thank you, Maiya. And Victor?
What was the question again?
Just closing remarks. Any last minute thoughts?
So our relations with people all over the place we're trying to normalize that. I know that Governor Newsom had a ceremony where he acknowledged some of the things that had happened in the past with Indigenous people in California, encouraging folks and organizations and agencies and departments to renew relationships and enter into new relationships. That isn't really what's driving this. For me, it is it's significant. It's significant in that it shouldn't be a big deal that we're doing this, but it's significant that we're starting to have those normal relationships where people have different worldviews and different ways of doing, as my grandmother used to say. And it's great that we can appreciate our different ways of doing and appreciate each other. And this is just a great place for folks to gather and share culture and share those things that are important to them and their families. So special in that way for me.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys all so much for your responses and for answering all these questions so very well and standing apart and doing this wonderful interview. This means a lot, and it's really great to hear from all of you about why it's important to you.
And what you guys can't see is there's somebody standing behind Kyle holding the rope off of the flagpole.
Yes.
That doesn't pink.
The behind the scenes is that I've been trying to cover the mic from the wind every couple of seconds. We're stopping a flagpole from being dinged against by its flag, and we have a decent amount of our staff here who have been watching this interview. So just a little behind the scenes tip for you. I can flip the camera back around if you don't want to be in it. Okay. And I just want to say thank you guys all so much for joining us today and for hanging in there. I know it's been a little bit extra long of a live stream. Really appreciate you guys staying tuned. This is really an incredible relationship. And as has been said before, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship. But as Victor said, this relationship has been going on for a little while. So it's really great to just see some of that hard work coming to fruition. So thank you guys all so much again for tuning in. Keep an eye on the Yurok Tribe website. Keep an eye on our social media as well for the opening of this visitor center, the Stone Lagoon Visitor Center. Just kind of getting started with this planning and things like that, but it will be opening to the public eventually with COVID-19 considered. So again, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We have these live streams every day at 3 o'clock, hear from different interpreters, see some other parks, and thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Anything else from you guys?
I just want to add thanks to Sherry Provolt. So, Oric District Council Member for Yurok Tribe has been terrific in support of this and working out the logistics and what this looks like. Been a great partner for moving us through this, as well as Culture Committee and Cultural Group, as well as Chairman, Vice Chair, and Council members. So, thank you, Yurok Tribe.
Excellent. Thank you, Yurok Tribe, and thank you guys. We'll hopefully be seeing the public again soon. So long.